historical events, things, practices, and places in the Philippines. Welcome to our journey through the rich tapestry of history that encompasses the Philippines. From ancient civilization to colonial influences, this archipelago nation has been shaped by a myriad of cultures, events, and traditions. Join us as we delve into the fascinating world of Philippine history, exploring its vibrant past through the lens of its remarkable places, pivotal events, and enduring practices. Whether you're a history enthusiast, a traveler seeking to uncover hidden gems, or simply curious about the stories woven into the fabric of this diverse land, prepare to embark on an enlightenment and inspiring adventures through time.
Miagao Church. The Miagao Church, also known as the Santo Tomas de Villanueva Parish Church, is a Roman Catholic church located in Miagao, Iloilo, Philippines. It was preceded by two other churches, the first near the Tumagbok River in Ubos, the second on the same site and built in 1747 by the parish priest. The Miagao Church was built in 1786 by Spanish Augustinian missionaries and was declared as part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site Baroque Churches of the Philippines in 1993. Bayanihan. Pronounced like Bayanihan, Bayanihan is a Filipino word derived from the word bayan, meaning town, nation, or community in general. Bayanihan literally means being a bayan and is thus used to refer to a spirit of communal unity and cooperation. Bayanihan is one of the traditions in the Philippines that shows a true sign of community spirit. It is where cooperative undertaking takes place with each individual effort. It is the art of working together. Angono Binangunan Petroglyphs. Angono Binangunan Petroglyphs, a precursor to Angono's artistry, discovered in 1965 by national artist Carlos Botong V. Francisco. This cultural heritage site dates back to circa 3000 BC and is the most ancient prehistoric work of art found in the Philippines. The site is famous for its rock engravings, 127 drawings of human and animal figures. Archaeological finds also yielded fragments of earthware, obsidian flakes, and shells. The site is located at the boundary of Angono and Binangunan. Japanese Tunnel. The 300-meter-long tunnel was discovered by the landowners while excavating the area in preparation for a hotel's construction. Passageways, rooms, armaments, and other artifacts were discovered inside the tunnel. It was later confirmed that the tunnel was dug out by war prisoners by order of a Japanese Imperial Army during the Second World War. Balangiga Bells. The Balangiga Bells are three church bells that were taken by the United States Army from the Church of San Lorenzo de Martir in Balangiga, Eastern Samar, Philippines, as war trophies after reprisals following the Battle of Balangiga in 1901 during the Philippine-American War. After decades of effort by the Philippine government and the Catholic Church, the bells were finally returned to the Philippines on December 11 of 2018, 117 years after they were taken. The bells are now installed in a reflection area outside the San Lorenzo de Martir Parish Church in Balangiga, where they are accessible to visitors. Philippine Revolution. The Philippine Revolution was a significant event in Philippine history that took place from 1896 to 1898. It was a war of independence waged by the revolutionary organization Katipunan against the Spanish Empire, marking the culmination of 333 years of Spanish colonial rule in the archipelago. Led by figures like Andres Bonifacio and Emilio Aguinaldo, the revolution exposed the weaknesses of Spanish administration but ultimately failed to evict the Spaniards from the islands. The transition led to the Philippine-American War, a bloody conflict between Filipino revolutionaries and the U.S. Army. The Philippine Revolution was fueled by a desire for independence, emerging from a long history of Spanish colonial rule and a growing Filipino middle class seeking autonomy. Baybayin. Baybayin was a pre-colonial writing system used in the Philippines, particularly in Luzon and other parts of the country prior to the 16th and 17th centuries. The script was widely used for personal writings, poetry, and signing documents, but not for keeping formal records or books. It was written on materials like palm leaves and bamboo using tools called panulat. Baybayin was a predominant pre-colonial writing system in the Philippines, used for personal and some official purposes, until it was gradually replaced by the Latin alphabet during the Spanish colonial era.
Mount Samat National Shrine. Mount Samat National Shrine or Dambana ng Kagitingan, Shrine of Valor is a historical shrine located near the summit of Mount Samat in the town of Pilar, province of Bataan in the Republic of the Philippines. The memorial shrine complex was built to honor and remember the gallantry of Filipino and American soldiers who fought against the Imperial Japanese Army during the World War II.
University of Santo Tomas. The University of Santo Tomas, or UST, is one of the oldest existing universities in Asia, founded on April 28, 1611, by Miguel de Benavides, the third Archbishop of Manila. Initially established as a school to prepare young men for the priesthood, it was first named Colegio de Nuestra Señora de Santísimo Rosario and later renamed Colegio de Santo Tomas in honor of Saint Thomas Aquinas. In 1645, Pope Innocent X elevated the institution to university status, and in 1680, it received royal patronage. Over the years, UST has been granted various titles, including Royal, Pontifical, and Catholic University of the Philippines. The university has a rich history, having survived interruptions during the Philippine Revolution against Spanish and Japanese occupation of Manila during World War II. 5 de Noviembre Mark Point. The 5 de Noviembre Mark Point was built to commemorate the significant historical event that ended the rule of Spanish colonial forces on the Negros Island. It is located along 5 de Noviembre Street. The 5 de Noviembre Mark Point in Salay City, Negros Occidental, is the same place where the Farmacia Luxin used to be located. The drugstore was where the Negrosins secretly planned a bloodless revolt against the Spaniards. Daguhoy Monument. The Daguhoy Monument is a historical marker located in the picturesque of the now province of Bohol, Philippines. It commemorates Francisco Daguhoy, a native Boholano who led the longest Philippine revolutionary movement against the Spanish colonial authorities in the 18th century. This monument is not just a statue, but a symbol of the unyielding spirit of the Boholano people and their fight for freedom. Yap San Diego Ancestral House. Yap San Diego Ancestral House, one of the oldest houses in the Philippines, is also said to be the first ever Chinese house built outside of China. Made during the Spanish colonial era, it is a 17th century structure with a combination of Spanish and Chinese influences. Built between 1675 and 1700, the house originally belonged to a wealthy Chinese merchant, Don Juan Yap, and his wife, Doña Maria Florido, together with their three children, Maria, Consolacion, and Eleuterio. In the 1880s, Maria, their oldest daughter, married to the Parian Cabeza de Barangay, Don Mariano San Diego. The house got its name from their marriage. The families had become significant members of the society during that time, especially in the field of arts and culture. As a matter of fact, they have taken part in the step-by-step creation of Cebu's Sinulog Festival. Battle of Tirad Pass. The Battle of Tirad Pass was a significant event during the Philippine-American War. It took place on December 2 of 1899 in the Philippines. The battle was fought between a small Filipino force led by General Gregorio del Pilar and a larger American force. Despite being outnumbered, the Filipinos put up a fierce resistance. with General Del Pilar famously sacrificing his life to delay the American advance. This battle is remembered for its strategic importance and the bravery displayed by the Filipino soldiers. National Museum of the Philippines. The National Museum of the Philippines, a trust of a government, is an educational, scientific, and cultural institution that acquires, documents, preserves, exhibits, and fosters scholarly study and public appreciation of works of art, specimens, and cultural and historical artifacts representative of the unique cultural heritage of the Filipino people and the natural history of the Philippines. It is mandated to establish, manage, and develop museums comprising the National Museum Complex and the National Planetarium in Manila, as well as the regional museums in key locations around the country. 0-kilometer Death March Marker. The 0-kilometer Death March Marker was the starting point in the Bataan Death March in Bagak in 1942. A similar marker can be found in Mariveles. There are two 0-kilometer Death March markers, one in the free port town of Mariveles and the other is in the beach town of Bagak, the largest town in Bataan. A Philippine-Japan Friendship Tower is also erected at Bagak. The plaque installed in the landmark was donated by the Filipino-American Memorial Endowment Incorporated or FAME and the American Chamber of Commerce of the Philippines. The original road heads to the north following the original Death March road. Harana. Harana, the Filipino serenade, is a dating or courting tradition practiced in Filipino culture, originally influenced by the Spanish. In this tradition, a man will get a group of his friends together to go to the window of the woman he admires. His musician friends accompany him as he sings to the woman. In this special moment, the girl listens and watches as the boy earnestly sings a sweet love song to her. The boy is being very vulnerable in the situation. He is singing for the girl he has a crush on. This typically marks the girl feel very special, maybe even fall in love. Harana is a very social-oriented event. It takes place when it is dark outside to avoid the heat during the day, and this makes it easier for people to socialize. Not only does the man brings his friends with him, but everyone in the house can hear him too. Tabon Cave. Tabon Cave, located in Lipoon Point, Panitian, Quezon, Palawan, in the Philippines, is a significant archaeological site known as the cradle of civilization in the country. It holds archaeological importance due to jar burials and prehistoric human remains found there, notably the Tabon Man. The caves are part of the Lipoon Point Reservation, protected by the Philippine government as a museum reservation. The site has been declared a national cultural treasure and is managed by the National Museum of the Philippines. The complex comprises 29 explored caves, with 7 open to the public, showcasing artifacts dating back thousands of years. The Tabon Cave Museum in Palawan recently opened, exhibiting endemic species found in the complex. Punta Cruz Watchtower. Punta Cruz Historical Watchtower, located at the western tip of Maribojoc. The popular name of Barangay Punta Cruz is derived from the punta, which means cave, and the word Punta Cruz was coined from the cross, which was planted on the said place to scare the Moro Mauriters. The original and extinct name of the place is Gumnay, where a spring is located serving the inhabitants as its water source. Built in 1796, the only perfect isosceles triangle tower, the only structure so formed in the country, thus was dedicated to San Vicente Ferrer. The Punta Cruz Watchtower on the shores of the municipality of Maribojoc serves as the lookout for incoming pirates. It was part of a wider defense need built along the Visayan coast to protect settlements from slave-raiding Moros that struck during the season of the southwestern monsoon. It commands an excellent view of Bohol Strait and the neighboring island of Cebu. The upper floor of the tower offers a breathtaking view of the sea facing the provinces of Cebu, Siquijor, and Mindanao. chicken blood on the birthday celebrant. The practice of anointing or signing the forehead of the birthday celebrant with fresh chicken blood is a Filipino tradition aimed at blessing the person or warding off bad luck. This tradition is common in provinces and is related to sacrificial offerings for good health and a prosperous life. It is a way of respecting and asking permission from spirits and mythical creatures to avoid any negative influences.
Pagmamano. Pagmamano is a traditional Filipino gesture of respect performed by younger individuals towards their elders. It involves the younger person bowing down and lightly touching the back of the elder's hand to their forehead, while saying "Mano po," which means "your hand please," or "May I have your blessings?" It is a way for younger Filipinos to show respect and deference to their elders such as parents, grandparents, and other older relatives or community members. The gesture is similar to hand kissing and involves the younger person asking for the elder's right hand while they press lightly against their own forehead. The phrase "Mano po" is used to initiate the gesture, with the older typically responding by saying "Kaawaan ka ng Diyos" or "God bless you." Pagmamano is rooted in the Spanish colonial influence in the Philippines, when natives would kiss the hands of Catholic priests as a sign of respect. Over time, it became a broader Filipino cultural tradition. While still practiced, especially in traditional Filipino families, the pagmamano gesture is becoming less common, especially in urban areas, with younger generations sometimes replacing it with a cheek-to-cheek kiss known as beso-beso. There is no age limit for performing pagmamano, but it is typically done by younger individuals towards their elders as a way of honoring their wisdom and experience. History provides a reflection of the past that allows us to learn from previous successes and mistakes, gain perspective on the present, and make better decisions for the future. That would be all. Thank you.